Hello everybody and welcome to AKNS Virtual Majlis. Today we're going to be talking about how technology remakes humanity. Please welcome the schools that are participating in this event. James Al Khalij National School, Dwight School Dubai, the Winchester School, James Al Barsha National School, our own English High School Sharjah, James Westminster School Sharjah. Please rise for the national anthem of the United Arab Emirates. Shafa Zinath,
Hi, my name is Shifa Zinat and I'm in grade 11 from James Westminster Sharjah School. I am very excited for this virtual Majlis and I hope I have a great time. Thank you.
thank you Shafa. Nurhan Tamir,
I am Nurhan Tamer from Shams Westminster School, Sharjah. I'm in grade 11 and I'm glad to join this Majlis.
thank you Nurhan. Please welcome our speakers from Dwight School Dubai. Sue Lassine,
Hi, my name is Sue. I'm in grade 9 from Dwight School Dubai, and my favorite subject is design.
thank you Sue. Wamid Abdul Qadir,
Hello everyone, my name is Hamid Abdul Gader. I'm from Dwight School Dubai. I'm in grade 9 and my favorite subject is also design.
thank you Wamid. Please welcome our speakers from the Winchester School Dubai. Laiba Yasser, can you introduce yourself and open your camera?
Hi everybody, I am Laiba Yasser and I'm from the Winchester School. I study in year 6 and it is an honor for me to participate in the AKNS virtual Majlis. Hope everything goes well. Thank you.
Thank you Laiba. Please welcome our speakers from our own English High School Sharjah. Akhilesh Patel,
Hello everyone, this is Akhilesh Patil. I'm from grade 11 and I'm from India. And I'm looking forward to this virtual Majlis.
Thank you, Akilish. Benson Binoy.
Hello everyone, I'm Benson Binoy. I'm from grade 11 and I'm delighted to be a part of this virtual Majlis.
Hello everyone, my name is Subramanya Venkat Shashank. I'm a student from grade 11 and my favorite subject is physics, and I hope we all will have a very fruitful and knowledgeable session.
Thank you, Benson. Thank you, Subramanya. Mayur.
Yeah. Hi everyone, this is Mayur Jamnani from Our Own English High School, Sharjah Boys. I study in grade 11 and I'm truly excited for the endless discussion ahead of us.
Thank you, Mayur. Please welcome our speakers from Gems Al Barsha National School. Faris Al Jarman. Faris Al Jarman will join us in a while. Seems like he is having some technical issues. Please welcome our speakers from Gems Al Khalij National School. Diala Yunus.
Hello everyone, my name is Diala Bilal Yunus and I'm in grade 11 and I feel so excited and honored to attend this Majlis, so hopefully it will go well.
Thank you, Diala. Amalia Gomez.
Hello everyone, my name is Amalia. I'm from Spain and I study in grade 8. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Amalia. Sayeline.
Hello, my name is Saline Juwaria Ben Mbarak. I'm happy to be here, and I'm in grade 5 GA and from Al Khalij National School.
Thank you, Sayeline. Diala, can you reintroduce yourself because your camera was not open?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay. So hello everyone, my name is Diala Bilal Yunus and I am in grade 11. I feel so excited and honored to be in this Majlis, so hopefully it will go well.
Thank you, Diala. Asil Owas.
Hello everyone, my name is Asil and I'm in grade 2E and I'm in Al Khalij National School.
Thank you, Asil. Zaina Ismail.
Hello everyone, my name is Zaina Ahmed Ismail. I'm from class 7GB and I'm so happy to be here today.
I'm sorry, Zaina, but can you reintroduce yourself? Your camera's not showing.
Oh, okay. Hello everyone, my name is Zaina Ahmed Ismail. I'm from class 7GB. I study in Al Khalij National School and I am so happy to be here today.
Thank you, Zaina. And lastly, Taleen Fadi. Hello everyone, my name is Taleen Fadi and I'll be the host for today's Majlis. And please welcome our guest, Evo Hanan, Head of Design and Innovation, Dwight School, Dubai. Mr. Evo Hanan is passionate about design and innovation in education, innately driven by his desire to create positive change and a passion for design. Mr. Evo has utilized his 20 years of educational experience to channel into passion projects, which have made an impact across the globe. His Innovation X model curriculum helps institutions develop a sustainable culture of innovation and is often referred to during the conference talks and mentoring sessions. Though his experience in education and his network, Mr. Evo is working with teachers around the world to promote student agency under his project called The Agency, which has over 150 global members. Together with lead agents, Mr. Evo will be delivering sessions to promote how to be an agent of agency over the next 12 months in London, Dubai, Sydney, New York City, San Francisco, Houston, and at OGC 2020 Summit in failed. Mr. Evo Hannan is passionate about design innovation in the future of life design and passion. Mr. Evo, I'm really sorry I'm facing technical issues with my mic.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, great. Thank you very much, Talene, for your insightful introduction, and thank you for all the students and members of staff and Miss Swalha for inviting me to be a guest for this virtual Majlis. I'm very excited to be talking about the theme, how technology remakes humanity. And one of the things that I really wanted to connect with was something that was mentioned earlier on about the Hope probe that was launched several months ago by the UAE from Japan and has successfully last night entered the orbit of Mars. And this is a great achievement for a nation like the UAE. They're only the 5th nation in the world to have used its technologies, to have used its strive for innovation and its ambition to push things forward and to take a brave step into space exploration and take one of their innovations and successfully allow it to enter the orbit of Mars. And this kind of leads on to the theme of today's Majlis, the idea that we can use technology, our own inventions and innovations, to enhance life, to allow us to live a better life and to reach to further goals. My journey as an innovation leader has taken me to many places around the world. I've been very fortunate. And it's also allowed me to connect with so many students, such as yourselves here today in Dubai and in various other nations across the world. So it gives me great pleasure to be part of this Majlis, and I look forward to hearing from the students.
Thank you, Mr. Evo. I apologize again. I was having trouble with my mic.
No problem. No problem.
I was going to introduce and talk about an introduction about you, Mr. Evo, but unfortunately there was trouble with my mic.
You did great. You did a great job, Talene. Well done.
Thank you, Mr. Ep. So let's start our Majlis today with Amal introducing her topic.
Hello everyone, my name is Asil. Hello everyone, my name is Asil and I'm in grade 2E. Today I will present my project and it has the lessons English, Math and Science. First, I'm going to start with English. In English, I compared and contrast iPads and computers. One compare is they are both electronics, and one contrast is we use a keyboard for computers, but we touch the iPad with our hands. Now I'm going to do science, and I will relate it with English. In science, my question was, why are glass and metal good choice for electronics? We use metal for electronics because it is opaque, and we use glass for electronics because we can see through it. We can see what we're writing. Now I'm going to do math. In math, the title was Favorite Invention of Children in Grade 2. The most favorite invention was laptop, and I liked it too. And the least invention was TV. And I conclude that technology is important for people because without technology, people can't communicate with each other. Like me, without technology, I can't communicate with my teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Asil. I have a question to direct to you. Okay, so my question is, since you talked about metal and glass, since like one of them is clear, one of them is opaque, can we replace metal with glass?
The back of the electronics, we can put in it something we can see through it. And even we can put metal in front of the screen because it is opaque. We need to see what we're doing.
Thank you, Asil. I have another question to direct to you. Do you like technology and do you think it is useful?
Yes, it is very useful. So right now I'm communicating with you on technology.
Thank you, Asil. And we'll move on to Silene. Silene wants to speak about our topic.
Hello. So my name is Celine. I'm in grade 5 GA, and I will be talking about my integrated research, which was about the differences and similarities between electric cars and gasoline cars. So one of the similarities is that both cars can harm the environment. One example is if an electric car's battery is disposed of improperly, chemicals inside could pollute the atmosphere, and a gasoline car emits a lot of carbon dioxide, which can cause the greenhouse effect. Another similarity is that both cars drive on the same roads and look the same on the outside. For instance, both cars have 4 doors, 4 windows, 4 seats or more, and carpet. And for the differences, one difference is that the gasoline car emits much more carbon dioxide than the electric car. For example, the gasoline car emits 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide a year, whereas the electric car emits little, if even any. Another difference is that both cars do not look the same on the inside. For instance, under the hood of the electric car, you would find the electric motor, the battery, and the transmissions, whereas under the hood of the gasoline car, you would find the exhaust pipe, the pipe that brings water to cool the engine, and the engine. And then you might be wondering how this technology can remake this humanity. So let me start by telling you what is humanity. Humanity isn't just how we act or how we care for other humans. It's how we take care of our planet, our environment, even other species like birds and plants. We all know what we have done in the previous years and what has happened. Climate change, tsunamis, earthquakes, and all of this is because of what we have done. And from my perspective, this is not going to help us, and this is not part of who we are as humans. So how will technology help us? Well, firstly, technology can help us build new cars with renewable resources like sunlight, wind, water, and all of these things, renewable resources. And if we continue using fossil fuels like coal, natural gas, or gasoline, we'll just be wasting these and destroying our Earth. Because over a span of maybe, I don't know, more than 10 years or less, we might not even have any left. So that's why we should preserve all of these resources in our Earth and be careful with all the things we do. And we should take care for the next generations after us. And I think this is how we are remaking.
Thank you, Silene. And now I have a question to direct to all of you guys. Since our topic is how technology remakes humanity, the key point or the key definition in this topic is humanity. Wamid, would you like to tell me what humanity is?
Sure. I think that humanity is how people interact with one another, how people go around in their daily lives, and how people innovate in their life, how people build things and do stuff.
Thank you, Wamid.
That's why we should preserve all of this.
Laiba, would you like to add to what Wamid said?
Yes, sure. Technology is practically a human race. It is the generation of the human, and that is the humanity. And that's practically just the human race, and it's generations after generations which make a humanity. And yeah, that's humanity.
Thank you, Laiba. Benson?
Yeah, hi. So for humanity, I feel we often think that humanity is just about being humans, but I feel that there's a big another aspect to being humans. I feel humanity comprises of everything: our society, our culture, traditions. I think everything comes into being a human and forming the definition of humanity. Humanity is also about how we care for others, how we love others, and how we react to others and to the environment. Yeah, so that's what I feel about humanity.
Yeah. So now I agree to what Benson said, and I also believe that humanity is the way we place ourselves in the society and amidst people around us, like how we perceive others and understand our surroundings. And I believe it's like something which resonates with love, compassion, and beauty around us. Like if we are able to relate and resonate with it, I believe that we are upholding the standards of humanity. Yeah.
I strongly agree with what Mayur said and all what the rest said, that humanity is the human race who built this world, who like took care of animals, who like helped animals and built a world from desert to big buildings and everything around us, and all of that thanks to technology.
Thank
And
you,
because
Zena.
and humanity allows us, and technology allows us to show our humanity more, our human innovation, our development, and our ideas, the creativity, or it's able to be presented in a different way, and it's done easily now because of technology and the development that we have because of technology.
I totally agree with what Shafa said, but then in the 1980s and 1970s, humans existed and humanity was there. So technology is not the main thing which makes humanity, but humanity makes technology.
I completely agree with what Shafa said. Due to technology, the accessibility that we are having in our, in our world is because we can access with people very much easily, where we can share our cultures, our values, our beliefs, which is what makes us humans very easily. So that I completely agree with Shafa saying that technology is helping humanity. Thank you.
Yeah. I actually believe that Norhan had just stated one of the truest statements she has ever said. Because yes, humans are the ones who actually created and invented technology. Without humans, there's no technology or something called technology. She actually mentioned that yes, we did create them, and yes, we gave them all of the informations, and we knew how to make them genius, and we knew how to actually make them better than us by just putting all of kind of details and informations that make us great. So I strongly agree with Nurhan.
Yeah, I think the students are doing a great job representing how technology has not only been created by humans, but also impacts our lives. We've had so many good examples already of the positive impact that technology makes. And some of the students here have made some great points about how our own creations can drive us forward and help not only ourselves, but help us maintain a sustainable environment as well. So yeah, thank you so far with everything you're saying, students. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mr. Evo. Subramania, would you like to add to what Mr. Evo just said?
Sorry. So I completely agree with what everyone has been saying, and I think that we can we can say that we can use technology to uphold all the values, share our morals, and basically we can take care of each other. Humanities are, we are humans after all, where we are just divided by cultures or whatever. We can break those barriers with the help of technology, communicate with others, help help others, take care of each other. So when we do that, instead of getting divided, we are more united with each other. So because of the presence of internet and technology or whatever we have, we are able to gain and access many resources, due to which makes us learn human beings. And when we share this information or resources or whatever we have, we make others educated as well, and together all the educated people can help to make this world a very better place. Thank you.
So I agree with all the statements that have been made in the previous couple of minutes, but I think that technology has a wide range of reasons to actually be present, because if we didn't have technology, we wouldn't be able to be talking on Microsoft Teams right now, and we wouldn't be able to have a COVID vaccine, and everyone would be dying if we didn't have the COVID vaccine because of the breakout that happened a couple months ago.
Thank you, Sue. I also agree with you because technology could be very important, but at the same time, some people agree that technology is important, but others disagree. So, what do you guys think? Diala, do you think technology is useful just as what Sue just said? Or do you think it is not?
I can't hear you. Could you please repeat? Your voice was cutting.
Your voice was buffering a lot. Can you please repeat?
Okay, can you guys hear me now? Or is it still?
Yes. Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, so some people agree that technology is important in our lives, and others disagree. Others say that it's not important in our lives. What do you think about that? Is it important or not?
It's cutting again. But I think you meant, do you think that technology has disadvantages? Of course, everything in this world has disadvantages and advantages. But I think technology is the one that has that many disadvantages that affects not only humans, but every single species on the world in the world. And I think technology is taking our, like, every single thing from us. It's taking our jobs, it's taking like literally everything, our jobs. What do you think? Like the way we're communicating, the way like our sleep cycle is always messed up. I think technology is the only reason why we're like this right now, because like we are literally now, what do we call it? We're literally now robots behind the screen who are always talking and doing. I think technology is the reason why we're like that. I mean, back then we used to just be like face to face and talking and everything, but I don't think that technology is that good because it's literally just taking everything from us.
I totally agree with what Gael said, but then adding to what she said, technology has made whatever was impossible one day possible nowadays. So trip to Mars was impossible. It was a dream for the Arabs. And yesterday, UAE successfully reached to Mars, and it was the second country to reach Mars after India. So without technology, we would have never explored the space.
Uh, I I agree with everyone who said their points earlier, but I'd just like to add that although some people said this, the reason why we're talking right here, right now, is because of technology. It wouldn't be possible without it, because if there wasn't modern technology, we wouldn't be having online school for the past 6 months. We couldn't be able to do that. We would just be at home. So I think that's why technology is really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, like I would just like to ask a question to Wamid because Wamid was talking about how technology is helping us connecting with people and how we can kind of attend school online and not lose our educational ground. But then very recently there was a study done and results have shown that that moderate or severe depression level was associated with higher time spent on the use of computer. Like if you spend more than 6 hours per day on computers, there is a chance that duration of screen time significantly affects your depression, your mental health levels. So what do you have to say about it? What do you think? Do we risk our mental health for attending school? And yeah.
I know. I'm not saying that it's only good. There's disadvantages, of course. I mean, that's how the world works. But I feel like the advantages way more than the disadvantages. Like, if you get what I mean, like.
Yeah, and what about the vulnerability in social media? Like, as we teens are, more engrossed in social media, we are more vulnerable to things, uh, which can affect us psychologically. There are people who keep dropping comments. There is a lot of cyberbullying going on around the corner, and so yeah.
I mean, I mean, of course, there's gonna be bullying in social media because like there's bullying everywhere. But you have to like try to stop the bullying. But I'm not saying that it's only good. There's disadvantages, of course, but I'm saying that it's like I'm saying that technology, like modern technology, can be really helpful now, like with the COVID vaccine.
True. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, I totally agree with what Mayur said, but also technology did not also affect our mental health, it also affected our physical health. So it was estimated that in USA, the obesity level is 36. Average obesity level is 36, and it's only because, or mainly because of technology. Now, teens and even other than teens, 20s and 30s, are just lazy to do any physical activity, and then instead they do everything online, communicate, they can do gamings, they can do everything, they just enjoy their time online, and this affected us very severely. Like looking into our now teens, 20s and 30s, they're getting heart attacks because of obesity, they're getting strokes because of obesity, etc.
Also, I would like to add that during this pandemic, we've been using also a lot of social devices, social media, electronic devices much more. And I agree with Nurhan, this is also affecting our physical health. And we should disconnect a bit and do more physical activities.
Yeah, I'd like to reply to what Mayu told about the mental health issues. I feel that in everything there's a positive as well as a negative side to it. So in case of mental health and obesity, talked about all such things. I would like to tell that nowadays in the pandemic days, you would have seen there's a thing called consultation. That is, you can consult your doctor even online without going directly in person. So it has increased accessibility for patients to medicinal services. So I wouldn't tell that you can criticize a certain thing in all the ways. There is both positive side to it as well. So we have to look at both when we are making a judgment. And I would tell that the positives of technology have far outweighed the negatives of it, the negative side of technology.
I'd like to add to what Benson said. Obviously, anything that we create and we innovate is going to have its disadvantages and advantages. And obviously, we can't keep these disadvantages as a wall from accessing and making our developments. We will learn to basically get on with the disadvantages, try to improve. Just because something has problems doesn't mean we won't use it. That's how we will look at technology as well. Thank you.
I would like to add with what Shafa said. Yes, as we all know, everything has a positive side and a negative side. But as we all know, like positive sides are more. Technology has helped us with education. Technology has helped us with health. Technology is helping us with everything now. It's like now it's controlling our lives. We can shop online, we can do everything online. But we need to be careful. If we spend way too much time, we're gonna affect ourselves. It's not the technology's fault, it's our fault. We need to control. We need to do screen time.
Adding to a point that Mayor made about cyberbullying online, about 1 in 3 children experience cyberbullying on social media. So what I'm trying to say is that if you know how to use social media correctly, it can benefit you in a lot of ways. But if you don't know how to use it correctly, it can just lead to bad mental health and anxiety.
It is true that technology has disadvantages like health issues and many things, but in my opinion, technology also cures those things. So, like in medical field and obesity and everything, why are we able to cure those sickness? Because of technology. And technology, there are more than 23 million app developers. What before? Because of what? Because that it is very popular, and without technology, our life will be like Stone Age. And technology, again, it is bringing us the next future, and is developing. And because of technology, we can do things that we are not really able to do. And yeah, it also helps us doing things. And I agree that there are disadvantages, but so many of you mentioned cyberbullying. So about cyberbullying, when you get cyberbullied, technology may you get, you build up all those problem solving skills, and those problem solving skills. So there are advantages of technology.
Yeah, I agree with Leba, her first point about how it helped the health industry. It's helped create more vaccines for the virus, and without this technology, we wouldn't be able to have this vaccine.
I have a question to direct to Mr. Evo. Mr. Evo?
Hi.
Okay, so my question is that since we are sharing our thoughts about is technology useful or not, what do you think? Is it useful or is it not?
So to me, technology is really a result of our ideas. So the ideas we come up with, maybe in the classroom or in companies, industry, we develop into technology, such as the one we're on here. So similar to what some of the students said, there is always going to be this balance. How much technology do we use to make a positive impact? And if we do use too much technology, is it making a negative impact? Because the aspects of personal effects and cultural effects of technology are really what we're starting to delve into. How does myself using too much technology affect me? And how does it affect the culture around me? And I think that watching people debate this is becoming very interesting. I'll give you my final thoughts on it at the very end. So I'll leave you guys with that. But yeah, keep going. It's getting very, very interesting.
Thank you, Mr. Evo. And I also have another question to direct to.
Sure.
So basically, if my parents are happy when I read a book from the book itself, so it's paper.
Okay.
But when I read it from a tablet or from a laptop, they get angry and they're like, why are you using technology? Although I'm reading a book. So what do you think could be a solution to that? Or why is this happening?
Okay, so I think your parents are probably from a similar generation that I'm from. I think there are definitely advantages with reading books digitally because you have access to hundreds of thousands of books on a singular device, whilst with a physical book you only have access to what's in front of you. I think sometimes your parents may want you to just be part of something that's a bit more authentic and reduces distractions. Because if you only have hold of the book in front of you in the 250 pages, you're not going to flick to YouTube, or there's not going to be an advert that comes up that redirects you and distracts you from what you're actually doing. And I think sometimes technology, particularly devices, can be overbearing, and that can add to stress. And nobody wants to see their children stressed. Does that help?
Yes, actually, that's the same thing I actually tell them. I always tell them that, okay, when I read a book from literally papers, it's the same thing as reading it from the laptop, but it's actually a bit different because the laptop has, let's say, brightness onto it. It's something that's different. So you're not touching the book itself, you're touching the screen. So that's why I think they normally say this because they want to decrease the amount of screen time every day. Because I do study like 7 hours directly after each other just for school and then for homework and studying for tests. So Nurhan, would you like to go and add to what Mr. Ever said?
So basically, technology is beneficial, but then you need to balance it, balance the use of technology. If we look into, for example, eating meat, if you eat so much meat, you'll get a high amount of cholesterol. But if you eat the amount which you require, you'll get protein and iron. Similarly, technology, if you use it in a limited time, at a limited time, like you will get whatever you want. You will get a huge amount of knowledge. You will get school, you access websites and so on. But if you use it so much, you'll get eye strain, neck strain, and etc.
Thank you, Nurhan. Seems like Zaina has a question to Mr. Evo, and as well as everybody else. You can go ahead, Zaina.
So as we talked about that, like we need to keep balance between technology and real life. But as we all know, we're some sort of addicted to technology. We can't like turn our eye without seeing technology. How can we like deal with it? Like how can we just like not come to any technology? For example, if I am trying to control myself from technology and I see my brother with a tablet, how can I control myself and like just not take the tablet away from him? And how can I like not be addicted? I just want to spend some time off technology.
Okay, Zaina. So with me also being a dad, I have two children. One is 8, Zachariah, and one is 5, Zara. I've been very conscious from a very early age to monitor the technology use that they have. So I've gotten them into a routine. So Zachariah, for example, does not play on his Nintendo Switch in the week at all. He has one, but he only plays on it at the weekend and for a fixed amount of time. What does that do for Zachariah? It makes him look forward to the weekend, and it also means that when he's playing on it, he's not being distracted by me or by anybody else, because the things that we would like him to engage with in the week, he can dedicate himself to. So when he's playing on his Switch at the weekend for 90 minutes a day, which is the limit we've given him, he can do it in peace. No one's bothering him. He doesn't have to get frustrated with anything. Nothing's gonna. And then when he comes off, honestly, the habits he has, he actually just says the time. I mean, I can see the timer on my phone. And he says, "Daddy, the timer's run out." And then he goes and does something else. It's almost like the 90 minutes he has, he's content with. And I think that's what it is with technology. Can you bring yourself to have a level of contentment so you don't overindulge in the use of technology? Does that make sense? So technology isn't telling you to engage. You're telling yourself to engage with the technology. So how do you monitor your own behavior? Maybe using timings or a routine, and that can, I think that can possibly help people out a little bit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Evo.
I would like to add to a point that Zaina Norhan made earlier, and I would just like to ask a question, because you say that you could like leave technology for a bit and balance it out, but as we like mentioned earlier, nearly everything in this world is made out of technology. Like humanity builds technology, so if we tried to leave technology, we wouldn't be able to, because every corner we look at, there's technology.
Thank you, Sue. And so we have been talking about the positives and negatives of technology, but let's take it to the negative side of technology, or let's say the middle of it. So we know that in technology could be useful for us now, but also not useful for us. But what do you think, why did they use technology to create all these bad things? So they created bombs through technology. They've been using satellites to detect people. They are hacking our accounts through technology. They are invading our privacy. So why is this happening? Why cannot people bring technology to the positive side instead of the negative side? Mayur, would you like to answer my question?
Yeah. Like apparently I feel that like we are using technology for the negative side now. We can see that there have been many instances where instances of clickbaiting, instances of different platforms that try to get us hooked to technology, and also there have been many instances like Talim was mentioning about bombs and technology used for the negative purposes. Like I feel that like everything around us has a positive and a negative side, and like if you consider a piece of agricultural land itself, you'd see that like if you grow too much on it, it causes defects like soil erosion. It causes the overuse of land nutrients, and so much. And that is something like, although it is giving us a lot of output, although it is giving us a lot of output agriculturally, it is causing a lot of damage to the soil. So apparently everything has its advantages and disadvantages, and the disadvantages increase when we consider the overuse of it. If we are able to maintain humanity, peace, and harmony along with each other, and discuss and create sense of dialogue among each other on the topics like how to improve the use of technology, how to make it grow towards the positive side, I think these things can be avoided. It's just that when we explore something new, we think about all the possibilities. That includes the negative possibilities of it, and we try to explore the negative first because we see a lot of chance in it. But if we kind of try to discuss and innovate after the discussion, we think about things first before directly jumping into it. I think we'll be a bit more cautious when we do it. We'll be a bit more towards the positive side.
Wamid, would you like to add up to what Mayur said? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
we
hear
hear you.
Yes.
Oh, Wamid, can you hear me too? Wamid.
Kaleem, I think Wamid is trying to speak, but we cannot hear him.
Yeah, we cannot hear him properly.
Maybe he has trouble in his mic or something. Wamid, can you hear us? Okay, until his technical issue is fixed and his mic is fixed, Benson, would you like to add up to what
Yes.
Mayur said?
Yeah, sure. So we heard about the ways in which technology can be used for destructive purposes, but I feel in that regard, that's why there are regulatory bodies for like pretty much everything. There are regulatory bodies. We even have in the recent years there have been cyber laws introduced, and that is for this purpose. That is to regulate the usage of technology. So I feel that we can't fully criticize that. That's why there are such regulatory bodies in place, and we need to be digitally aware in the usage of such technologies, and we need to make a balance in how we use it. Yeah.
I agree with all of you. I think that technology has impacted almost all of us. In the negative way, we are trying to like take ourselves out of the technology as much as we can, but like it takes us back in. We are trying to control it and try our best, like not to like stay behind the screen as much as we can, but like everyone said, almost everywhere we go, it's like we see technology everywhere we go. So it's like impossible for us, but as much as we can, we try, and there are like warnings, very various information like to try to stop, but unless like we force ourselves and acknowledge yourself to stop, we have the chance to do it.
Thank you, Amalia. Laiba, you can go ahead.
Sure. So about the bomb, so actually when you have the bomb, so bomb were only intended for war, but obviously if you see a nice person, he won't like bomb the area or something, and the bad person will do it. But that's the thing, we need to control ourselves because we're humanity, we're humans, and if we can't control ourselves, then we're failures. So practically we don't have to be the slave of humanity, slave of technology. Technology has to be the slave of ourselves. We have to have a control on ourselves and self-awareness. That's only when we can, be qualified as humans.
Okay, so I completely agree with what all of you have just said, but I would like to, divert this discussion to to a different topic. As we know that humanity is, consists of we humans having our own values, beliefs, cultures also. So how do you think technology is affecting these values, cultures that we have within ourselves?
Well, I think that there has been both positives and negatives to that problem. Well, here, because of technology, people, tribes, and basically they're able to communicate their culture, teach this to other people. So now more people are aware of their culture and so and so. However, because of technology, there are people, from tribes or from a certain culture that they basically lose their culture because of technology, because they don't want to be associated with so and so, so they forget it basically. And because of this, the generations worth of culture might be lost because of technology. So it has both cons and pros. So yeah.
May I add? I mean, everyone is saying that yes, we have to regulate and we have to control ourselves, and we need to take care of ourselves because technology is taking our time and everything. But do you guys know the fact that technology is like literally an addiction? So how could we work on it? I mean, if it's an addiction, it's really hard to stop it. So how could we work on that? And then when someone is like literally wants to stop an addiction, they will like directly going to what do we call it? They will be like directly going to technology itself, to the cell phones or to laptops, and be like writing on Google, how could we stop this addiction? And they will like reading and reading and reading, but they never stop it. So how do you guys think that we could stop it? And Mr. Evo, how do you think that we could stop this addiction and we could like control ourselves?
Okay, Dahlia, thank you very much. This is a tricky question, but let's relate technology to something that is commonplace, like food. If you didn't have a routine with food, what do you think, if you didn't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with food, what do you think you would do?
I mean, food is important because it's like literally the source of energy for a human. But how is this related to technology? I mean,
it's
technology
a habit.
is not like a
Exactly. No, but it's a habit. What I'm trying to say is, if we didn't have the construct of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it was just, well, you can access food whenever you want, what do you think would be the problem?
I mean, that's kind of true, but I think that technology is still like, like food, you need to eat food, like you need, because this is sort of energy. But when we go to technology, I mean, first of all, it has a lot of effects. It affects your eyesight, it affects your mental illness. Like you can't even stop it. When it starts, it never stops. It develops more.
I think what I
more and
mean
more.
is not the essence of food. I mean, it's the habit. If we didn't have the knowledge we have that says if we indulge too much, we're going to be overweight, it can lead to health issues. I think because of those things, and like in the past, people would be a lot more indulgent over things. And similar to technology in the sense that the addictiveness that you're talking about with technology can relate to other things that are addictive, like, let's say, chocolate, for example. But as with everything, down to the individual person, you have an ability to control it. We have an ability to control the things that we do. Yes, I believe it can be difficult, but if we try to monitor what we do a little bit earlier on, it should be a little bit easier to manage as well.
Thank you, sir. You convinced me.
Go get yourself some chocolate.
I would like to add that if this rate of the usage of technology continues in the future, that everything will be technology and we'll develop ourselves to get used to it, and we'll develop ourselves to get used to technology and this amount of technology. And then at this rate, in this present time, things are technology. People use technology to produce things like the vaccine, but maybe in 20 years, people will do more than that. Maybe building stuff will be done with technology. It sounds funny, but it could really be happening.
I completely agree with what So just said, that I think when it comes to any type of addiction, what does addiction mean? It means that where there comes a point where you do something or certain things where you want to go and do it again and again every day. So that is what the basic meaning of addiction is. So if you take the case of technology addiction, so as Sir said, and as he gave his personal experience, where you need to have a certain routine by which you can when you have a certain routine, you know that in this routine you will have a chance to go you will have a chance to address this addiction. Or you, like as So said about the Nintendo Switch, which is son plays for 90 minutes like once a week or twice a week. So by this his son knows that he's going to get a chance to play it. So rather than him going and him going and playing it right now, he knows that he's going to have a chance afterwards. So having a certain type of routine by which you can you can address this addiction will be really helpful.
I totally agree with what AKNS said, but as we all know, getting away from an addiction is like super hard. Even if you're like addicted to something that you see in your everyday life. Like, for example, yes, technology, or we can call it food. It's gonna be like days, years. Like, for example, if a person is trying to get on a diet, but like it's gonna be hard for them, like they can't resist. How can we fix this problem?
So seems like Zaina has a question, and this question is kind of a problem, and she actually wants a solution.
Zain, please repeat your question again. I actually couldn't hear you properly.
I said that my question was, what if like getting away from an addiction is hard? Like, how can we fix that problem?
Well, Zaina, to fix a problem or to fix an addiction, the first thing a person should have is a will. So if there's a will, you will have a way. Smokers, Smokers are addicted to smoking, and they are addicted. Their body is addicted. And some smokers stop smoking. Why? Because they have a will. So if you have a will to get away from technology, there will be a way to get out of it. But if you don't, then there's no way. You will just get addicted more and more and more. So it comes from inside. It's not what you say, it's what you do.
Like, I quite agree. I suppose that, one of the biggest challenges, ahead of Generation Z today is finding a way to kind of squeeze ourselves out of the addiction which we are facing right now of technology. What has happened is, though e-learning has made our lives more interesting, and made our education continuous even in these times where all of us were distraught. It has somehow made us more addicted, or more it's made us more easy and more easygoing with technology. Like, we tend to use technology more often because of e-learning and stuff. And now I think after the era is over, after this pandemic is over, officially, we start going to school. All of us start going to school. It would be easier for us to get out of this addiction. And yeah, as Nurhan said, there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. So of course, it's one of the greatest challenges we face as Generation Z, and I hope we all can overcome it. Yeah.
I mean, Mayor, you're completely right. And yes, you have just stated a fact, which whenever like we are trying to stop this addiction, we're still attracted to it. We're more attracted to it because technology is actually like a cycle. It develops every single moment, like every single minute it develops, and it gets even better. So we're still attracted to it. So I mean, I strongly agree with you. Mayer. I mean, this is totally a problem that we can't stop. But as Mr. Evo has mentioned, that it's like a habit and we should control it, and he did convince us, but it's still like a problem. As Nurhan has mentioned also, that you should start with an intention, you have to start with a will, but as I've mentioned, like it's like a wheel, it's like a cycle. The more it moves, the more it develops, the more it attracts you. So how could we stop it?
Yeah, especially when you have search engines like Google, like which are like kind of trying to show you results which you would like. Like when you search something on Google, the result which you would like the most, comes on top. And so you get attracted to it, you get addicted to it. And speaking of YouTube also, you get the same thing. Like you get, it tries to attract you towards it. So it's very difficult, and it's one of a potential question. How do you try to stop this addiction? Because it's like now it's very difficult. I agree.
I'd like to add to this discussion. So we're talking about Nurhan's example. Her example was smoking, and a smoker who quits smoking. Now this is a permanent quit. However, technology has basically it has been enveloped in our life, and it is going to be for the future generations. So it's not something that we totally can like fully stop. So like addiction, obviously it's very hard to stop doing something, but here we're not fully removing our attachment to technology. We still need it for our uses, our schools, and all of that stuff. We just try to cut out the things that we don't need, that we use extra. So when we're trying to overwork, we're trying to not overwork ourselves. So because of that, I think tackling on this problem of technology, the addiction of technology would be much easier than, let's say, a smoker's problem with smoking. So yeah.
So
Mr. Evo, as Diala said, she said that the more like technology is like a cycle. The more you use it, the more you get addicted. So the more you move on to it, the more you will get addicted. How can we fix that problem?
So I think, I mean, there's various things that people use with addictions. Something, have you ever heard of the phrase going cold turkey? Has anyone ever heard of that phrase?
Yeah, heard of that.
Yeah, so going cold
That's a
turkey
new one.
it basically means you completely stop doing it. Like completely. You don't phase it out. You completely stop doing it. Now, that's not necessarily going to work for everybody. Some people might want to phase it out. Everybody is different. Everybody responds to things differently. You know who you are best. You know your limits. When I look at some of the people around me, some people's limits on video games is much larger than others. Some people, after 10 minutes on a video game, they get frustrated. Some people can spend an hour on a video game and they're still the same person. So as an individual, find the place that keeps the use of technology for you healthy. Because at that point, when you consciously know, this is getting a little bit out of hand for me, or this is taking up a little bit too much time for me, that's where you as a person can say, I need to make a change here. Because you're going to be, guys, you guys are the future innovators and leaders. If you can't control how much you use your mobile phone, how are you going to be able to make decisions that are going to impact 7 billion people? You know what I mean? And we're relying on you because this technology is coming in from one end and you guys are coming in from the other end. And we want to make sure that the habits that you develop help us be more sustainable with our future, help us improve humanity and reduce stress levels, and help us make the world a better place, right? So, yeah, I think you guys have got this. I definitely think you guys have got this.
Hopefully we do get this. We have to make a change earlier.
I mean, Sarah, you just actually mentioned that everyone is different. Now, okay, you just mentioned that everyone is different. What about people who are actually antisocial and they don't like to go out? Like, for example, they're addicted to technology and they want to stop this addiction. And like they're antisocial, or they are actually scared or shy to go to the outside world. So they will probably go to technology again and be asking how to stop this kind of addiction. So how could we help them? I mean, if technology, they're still using technology even though they want to stop it. We were talking like people who could actually stop addiction, who are the ones who are willing to, as Nurhan mentioned, and who are the ones who could go to the outside world, who are actually extroverts, social. But are we gonna forget the fact that antisocial and introverts are having really hard time to stop this kind of addiction? Because when they want to just stop this kind of addiction, they just go to technology and type it, and then boom, you have the answer. So how could we stop it? How could we help them? I mean,
Benson, would you like to
Yeah.
answer Diala's question?
Yeah, I agree to Adela's question. It's a big problem, that the issue of addiction that we often face, and I believe that there are many resources that we can use, and there are many ways. And I believe the ways it apply to, as was previously mentioned, the ways it apply to smokers and people who face other addiction, believe that we can apply it in this case as well. However, I would like to ask a question that I feel that hasn't been touched upon yet. So the thing is, I was reading this article from World Economic Forum, and it talked about how technology helps us to reach our full potential. So I want to know what you all think about that. How does technology enhance our capabilities and our ability to our ability to achieve great things? Yeah, like to hear what are your thoughts on that.
Okay. So yes, I agree to what everyone has been saying until now, and technology addiction is a real thing that is going on around, which actually the older generation, or those people do not acknowledge that technology is very addicting, and they would rather be scolding us. So I think, to first, number one, we have some steps to overcome technological I wouldn't actually say technology, I would rather say the addiction towards devices or social media or internet, because technology includes a lot of varies where a lot of fields like technological advancements in human life, or robotics or engineering or whatever. So I would like to confide into this in use of internet. So we can, number one is we need to have communication with others. Maybe not only parents, we can communicate with friends or any other people who we know and we trust, so that we can share our problems, or we can tell how we are suffering from not technological internet or the device addiction. Then I think this is a common one, but we can use technology to combat technological addiction. Not technological, I mean the device addiction. Like we have access to the internet, and internet contains various things. Like we can find our passion, like if you're, suppose you're very confused right now on what you want to do or anything like that, you can use the internet to find your passion or whatever you want to do. You can just go to the internet, Google, and you can search about. There are a lot of fields which you can check, like when you check, if you find your passion, when you're going to do that, you will actually forget about the addiction towards internet, and you will be focused more on your passion and how to develop in that field. And that is one way of doing like combating our addiction towards technology.
We shouldn't blame technology because it isn't wrong itself. We are the one who should control ourselves. Technology is related to willpower. So we need to, the first thing that is like the hardest step is we need to break the cycle. Then it won't be that hard. We need to step out of our comfort zone, and if you're social and introverts, then we can do this at home also. We can engage ourselves in different activities at home in any interest. And again, we have to just break out of our comfort zone. And yeah, it's not about technology. It depends on how we control the technology.
Thank you, Laiba. Unfortunately, there are a few minutes left for this live Majlis to end, so we'll just like to wrap it up. So let's start with every single one of the students here. So Akilish, would you like to say your final words, Majlis?
Hello everyone. This has been a very nice Majlis. I really enjoyed us discussing about various topics all across, starting from humanity, then going through how technology is affecting humanity, and we ended at the addiction of technology. And I'm pretty sure we all have got the answer to how we can cope up with the addiction. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Akilish. Amalia, would you also say your final words?
I think like we can overcome anything we try to do unless we put our mind to it and we fully put like our courage in it. I think we can overcome anything. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Amalia. Benson?
Yeah. Today's Majlis was really enlightening, and I believe it was a really fruitful session for all of us. So we learned about how technology impacts humanity. We learned that we had to balance technology, how we use technology. It has both its positive sides as well. So I believe it was a fruitful session for all of us, and I believe we'll carry the lessons that we have learned from this session forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Benson. Diala, would you say your final words for this Majlis?
Yes, I'm actually so happy that I have learned a lot from you guys, that like I've learned more things about technology and how to stop the addiction, if you're introvert, if you're extrovert, and it was very fruitful. Thank you.
Thank you, Diala. Laiba, would you say your final words?
Yes, sure. I really enjoyed today the AKNS virtual Majlis, and I hope to attend it again and again, and I found it very useful. Thanks.
Thank you, Laiba. Nurhan?
Well, I'm really glad to have to talk and debate in today's conversation about one of the most important topics, which is technology. And yeah, I learned a lot from you guys.
Thank you, Nurhan. Wamid, what are your final words? Seems like Wamid is having issues. Or Wamid, can you hear us?
Is it fine if Wami does it from my laptop?
Yeah, it's fine.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It has been a great time in this Majlis. I really enjoyed debating and talking about the effects of technology on humanity, and I hope we could do something like this again. Thank you.
Thank you, Wamid. Sue?
It's been great fun attending this virtual Majlis, and I'm really glad to be here. It was really, really fun, and I learned a lot more than I would have learned out in the world about technology, and it was really, really great getting to know all of you.
Thank you, Sue. Mr. Evo, what are your final words for this Majlis?
Hi, everyone. So what a great conversation this has been with students from across Dubai. I mean, you've really come at it from completely different angles, and you've all added something very positive, and you've given us all something to think about, which is the most important thing. The bottom line is we are all individual. We have individual needs, we have individual backgrounds, we are introverts, we are extroverts, we are somewhere in between. But we know ourselves. We know what is good for us and what is bad for us. We know our habits, and we have the ability to be able to adjust those habits to make life better for ourselves and healthier for us and the people around us, and to make the world a better place. So I'm wishing you guys the very best of luck with your journey on managing technology and how it makes a positive impact on your life and others around you. Stay connected to everyone here. It's been a great talk, guys. And good luck in the future. I hopefully will catch up with you sometime very soon.
So I really enjoyed this Majlis, even though it's been past like 2 hours and a half, and I did not even realize. But as we all know, time flies by fun. And I learned a lot of stuff today, and I really thank everyone who's here, and I hope we can do this again.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to attend this Majlis to all of us. It was a really fruitful and a very knowledgeable session. And yes, as Zaina said, time flies when you have fun. And we didn't even realize that we had 2 hours full of discussion. Like we had 2 hours full of discussions about various topics, and we didn't even realize time was flying, and we were so into it. It was really fun. Thank you so much to everyone.
I'm so thankful for having attended this virtual Majlis, and I really learned a lot about how technology can make humanity.
Shafa?
Yeah, so this Majlis was a very nice opportunity. I did not realize the time went by so fast. We got to talk about really like a lot of things. We talked about the Mars mission yesterday. We talked about some bombs and like the problems that it has involved technology. It was really nice. It was a very well-rounded discussion, and I hope that I can participate in something like this again. Thank you.
Yeah, it was quite amazing speaking to all of you, listening to all your thoughts, opinions, and views and perceptions about technology and how it affects humanity. and it indeed affects all of us. And it was like I was glad to think about it from so many different perspectives, and it was a lot of fun discussing with you guys. And I really wish to attend another session, another virtual Majlis soon. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mayur. And lastly, we'll end off this Majlis with thanking Mr. Evo a lot for joining our Majlis and being a big part of it. You have actually convinced us in your thoughts, and we will thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
This is the end of the Majlis. Thank you so much for participating in this Majlis, and we'll see you in the next